We were inundated with a lot of prog albums last Friday. I have a lot of catching up to do. My schedule is completely slotted for reviews, so good news for you, busy news for me. So let's dive into the next one. Double Vision by Arena. So Arena, classic Neo-Prog band. These guys got their start in the mid-90s. Coming onto the Neo-Prog scene a little bit on the later side, but I'm not going to knock it for that. These guys are following the footsteps of like Marillion and Pendragon and IQ and all the founding fathers of Neo-Prog. For me, like they really got their kick in Immortal, with the Butterfly Man. And this song, mwah, mwah, mwah. Butterfly Man is one of my all-time favorite songs, and it's one of the songs that really got me into Neo-Prog. What Arena was doing was providing a much darker approach to the Neo scene, and this would be seen in like what I always called kind of the renaissance of Neo-Prog in the like 2007, 2008 era, moving from more of a theatrical presentation to more of a dark, like it's still that same lamenting, but less of like the weeping clown and more into, I want to say like a goth, but almost to that extent. So Arena was kind of doing that before it was cool. And so we come into their latest album, Double Vision. And in some ways, this is a breath of fresh air because we get more of that really dark, really meaty Neo-Prog that I've been craving for a while. It is definitely an improvement from The Unquiet Sky and probably the better album that we've had from them probably in like over 10 years, probably since The Congregation. It starts off beautifully with Zhivago's Wolf, and it really sets that stage of we are here. It's a powerhouse kind of an album. It's very hard-hitting. It's very rocking. The playing styles between the lead electric guitars and the lead keyboard synthesizers and the amazing vocal works. It's very succinct. It's very short in just under 5 minutes, and it packs a punch, and I love that synthesized grounding that we have. We haven't really had that juicy synthesizer since probably IQ's Dark Matter. The album does kind of peter in and out. It does kind of fall into a little bit of a formulaic landscape at times, where we have the introduction, the main verse, chorus, interlude, and then ending with the chorus. And throughout the album, it does kind of follow that pattern quite like almost right to the T. And this is felt within The Mirror Lies, Paradise of Thieves, and Red Eyes, and each of these songs kind of do their own thing, but never really deviate too far from the mean. If a system works, it's going to continue to work, and it does work in certain extents. Scars is one of my more likable songs. I don't want to say it's my favorite song on there because we'll get to that in a second. But Scars has that, like, it takes its time to really develop, and as it develops, it gets bigger and bigger, and then by like the second minute mark, it just really explodes. This Neo-Prog interlude playout where we have the lead guitars just soundscaping, soaring out into the void. It does what I love with Neo-Prog, where it has that pedestal, the guy is standing on it, it's unabashedly cheesy at times, but they own it to such an extent that I'm like, yes! And the other song that I love that does this very well, it's very, very similar to that, is Red Eyes. The lyrics on this gets a little under my skin. It does get a little, where he's saying, like, I can walk into any room and not get noticed. Like, I'm virtually invisible to you. You know, being that, nobody sees me. I'm invisible. And so that gets, I will admit, it's a little over the top at times. It is a little bit cheesy, but in the moment when I'm listening to this song, I'm like, yeah, man, you rage against it. You get noticed. You like get your moment. The music is on par with the level of energy that they're going for. And that, I think, is why it works so much. Because if they were doing this and the music didn't match what they were trying to accomplish, it would have felt flat and it would have felt really cheesy. It would have felt really like cringeworthy. But because they met what they were going with the lyrics and the overall concept of the song with that over-the-top music, and it worked, that's where I'm like, okay, you guys were doing something right. Good on you. Good job. Now, unfortunately, this can't really be said with some of the other songs on here. I've already mentioned Zhivago Wolf. Same with Mirror Lies and Paradise of Thieves, even to a certain extent Poison. These guys, they work, they're fine, and I'll probably grow to like them a little bit more, but as I'm listening to them, they're just kind of lesser than the other tracks. Now, Poisoned is a good track to kind of scale the album a little bit, because Poisoned is a much more subdued song. It's one of the shorter tracks, being at 4.5 minutes. It provides a little bit of a come down from Red Eyes that we need, where we're getting into the big epic that is The Legend of Elijah's Shade. And this is where it elevates the album for me a little bit, because when we had that, it was a little bit of a hit and miss. Like, the songs were either a very big hit or meh. But within The Legend of Elijah's Shade, this is the 22-minute epic. And whenever we get a big epic within this, I get a little hesitant, because epics can either be amazing or they're just a waste of space. And here, I don't want to say like it's amazing, but it isn't a waste of space at all. They have some great instrumentations, they have some great playing styles. It is an accumulation of all the tracks that came before it. It does have those cheesy moments and the lyric styles, especially when they get into like the midsection of this track where they're naming off people's names. It's like, this one's for Jonathan, this one's for Jennifer. And I'm like, maybe you wanted to find a different way of expressing that. Overall, the song goes through some great peaks and valleys. There's some great build-ups, some great payoffs. I was waiting for that epic moment that we had in Red Eyes and Scars that I didn't quite feel was in this movement as well. It does have those movements, but it wasn't as grandiose. And when the big Goliath of the song doesn't have those big meaty moments that I was kind of hoping for, it does bring down the enjoyment a little bit. The big knock that I have against this track overall is the fact that it ends with a fade out. And it's a very short fade out to be reprised with this kind of fun, almost carousel-like noise. And I was wondering like why they ended on that kind of a note. It did kind of cheapen the song a little bit. I feel like had they played the song out maybe into the 24-minute track with a really great electric guitar play out, and maybe even a little bit of a duel with the synthesizers, playing the song out and then bringing in that carousel sound at the end, I think that would have elevated it to the next level instead of just being a really great capper-offer epic finale. So, I mean, it was a little bit of a mixed grab bag, but I think what hit great, and what didn't quite hit wasn't boring. Overall, definitely a win, definitely one that I'll be revisiting through the year. I will say it's probably the best album that the band has put out in more than a decade. Download this album, have it on your computer. This is one that you'll want to revisit time and time again. It's one that I know I'll be revisiting throughout the year, just to kind of see how it's maturing throughout the year. So that's about it from me. What did you guys think about this album? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Let me know of your own thoughts by commenting down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, you guys are definitely the best. And until next time, notes out.
Writing checks your ego can't cash. It's a bubble that will burst. You wake up